Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your April 1st is starting off fabulous. Spring is in the air. I feel it. I don't know about you guys, but today I get to share with you 10 cards using the Spellbinders Card Kit of the month for April 2021. And it is called Sincerely Yours. And I'm super excited to share the 10 cards. Card number 1. The envelope that I'm using, I used with the dies in this month's kit. So if you missed the unboxing, I'll link it at the end. It's where I created the flowers and the envelope. So we're going to jump in. I have 2 pieces of pattern paper. I'm just layering them together. One is like a pink wood grain, and it measures 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then I went ahead and layered a smaller piece that was a gingham print that measures 2 inches by 3 3/4 on the very bottom. We're going to directly adhere this to our card base. All the card bases that I'm using for my 10 cards are using the card bases that came in the kit and made it so easy. Now this is the envelope I created during the unboxing. And again, if you want to check out how I created 2 envelopes. This is the flatter one. And if you want to know how I made it, be sure and check out the unboxing. You can fast forward to the end, but one of them has dimension to it, but this is the flat one. And I'm going to give dimension to it too, but I'm going to pop it up. I just placed it wonky over the seam of my pattern papers. And then I'm taking a piece of the ledger paper that came in the 6x6 paper pad. This little piece measures 2 1/4 inch by 3 inches. We're going to tape it down on the inside and curl up the ends. Give it a little rugged look. And then I die cut out 2 of the flourishes with the dies this month with the darker green cardstock. And we're going to just have one of them tucking in the envelope, one of them tucking on the outside. And then we're going to add some small foam squares behind each of our flowers. One's a pale pink, one's a pale blue, nice springy colors. And then we're going to place them at the bottom of our stems here. Now for my sentiment in the die cut pack, there's a little ticket that says I'll always be here for you. I have this, and I'm going to tuck it on the inside of our envelope. But to tack it down, I'm going to bring in some mini paper clips. These are a great deal. I think these might be on sale right now at Spellbinders, but huge pack of them, and they're little mini silver paper clips. I'm going to take one, and we're going to secure our sentiment die cut piece to our paper, our pattern paper. That's why I just added glue on the or tape on the very bottom of my paper. This way I could tuck these 2 together. I didn't put it all the way down. I wanted to thread some twine through it. I'm using some whipped cream twine, and you can see it's a well-loved twine. I actually have 2 of them in reserve because I use it so much. But I'm just going to tie a bow on top of that paper clip, threading it through it. My tails of the string are a little long, so we're going to trim those off. And then that finishes off card number 1. I think this is a nice I'll always be there for you card. Okay, card number 2, we're going to use the gold grid paper. I cut down a panel that measures a card front size. We're going to add tape behind it and adhere it to the front of our card base. And then I also trimmed down a piece of the telephone pattern paper. There's little gold swirls in there, and I thought we would accent the very bottom with a strip of the gold cardstock. So basically it's a 1/2 inch strip, and we're adding it to the bottom of our telephone paper. And that measures 2 3/4 inches wide by 4 inches tall. I'm just making sure it's lined up. For some reason, it's really hard for me to get these straight. Even though the phones on here are really straight, I can't get the paper straight. Once I was happy and did get the paper straight using the grid lines, I tied a bow at the very bottom, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some fun foam behind it. I like to use fun foam because the pattern paper is on the thinner side, so if I add fun foam, I can pop the entire thing up. And I just love the way that looks. You can see I tied the bow to the left. To embellish my panel, I have the little clipboard die cut piece. We're going to add that to the right. And then I have the little blue telephone. And also for my sentiment, we're going to use the Hello Sunshine. We'll pop both of these up with foam adhesive. Now the kit does come with foam tape, or foam squares, and it also comes with double-sided tape. Nothing is wrong with it, guys. It works fantastic. But since my 10 cards runs long, I need to speed up the process. So that's why I bring in my tape runner. It's a lot faster, and then that's why I bring in my foam squares. I'm going to go ahead and round the corners, just the top right one, using my corner rounder here. And then that finishes card 2. Now we're going to move along to card number 3. For card number 3, I have some strips of 1-inch pattern papers. I have 6 of them, 5 of them, can't count. They're all 1-inch strips by 3 1/4 inch. I have the pink pattern paper, yellow, blue, pink polka dot, and then the daisy one. For my sentiment, I'm using one of the die cut pieces. It's a little tag. There was a hole in it, so I just thought I'd secure a white eyelet to it with my crocodile, and then we're going to thread some twine through there. I'm not going to tie a bow just yet. It's easier sometimes to tie a bow when it's secured to something. I'm going to take my 5 pieces of pattern paper. This is a pink pattern paper that looks like there's window panes on there. I added that to the top of some white scratch pieces of paper, just one paper. And then the next color is the yellow ledger paper. The blue is the blue tone on tone paper with the hearts. Third is the pink paper with the white polka dots, and then the fourth is the boy, I lost count somewhere there, but I'm going to add my 5th piece on the very bottom. So we have a row of pattern paper. Okay, I do have a little excess. I'm going to grab my scissors and trim off what's overhanging. I am going to go ahead and pop this up with some fun foam for a little dimension. And I love coordinating pattern papers. I love quilts too, so maybe that's why I love this so much. But I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess, not much, but enough to show that white scratch paper behind it. So once I'm happy, this is going to go in the center of my card base. And then to embellish it, we're going to keep it real simple. I'm using one of the 3D floral embellishments that came with the kit. And then I'm going to remove my foam tape from behind my thank you tag. And we're going to tuck it. I think we're going to go right between the daisy and the polka dot pattern paper. And I like it overhanging on that right side. Once I'm happy, I'll tie a bow and we'll just trim off the excess. And then for this one, I think the 3D embellishments are so pretty. There's lots of layers on there. There's acetate and gold accent. So, but the center of the flowers, there's nothing fancy to them. So I'm bringing some of the new Spellbinders Gems. If you guys haven't got these, they're beautiful. Oh my goodness. They're silver gold, and then there's the clear. The clear one is probably my favorite, and it is called the Crystal Mix. But so pretty. I'll link it down below. To finish off this card, since it looked like a quilt to me, I thought we'd do some faux stitching with my white gel pen, just on the blue. I think that's the only one that will stand out, but just some faux white stitching, and that is that card. Okay, card number 4 is pretty simple. I have a piece of pattern paper that measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. We're going to adhere that to our card base. Now this one is the window paned pink pattern paper. Kind of, sort of. It's not really window panes, but it looks like it. And then I have some of the pink polka dot pattern paper. We're going to adhere that all the way to the right side. That measures 3 inches by 5 inches. If you want to save cardstock or pattern paper, you would only need about a 3/4 inch strip of that pink window pane paper. But I like layering them just to make it a little more heavier weight. I peeled it up, you could see, and I thought we should go ahead and round the corners. So that's what I did. But it wasn't round enough, so I brought in my corner rounder. And I'm using the 1/2 inch size to round the corner. And after we have that done, I'll do the corner rounding on my card base too. And we'll go ahead and stick this back down on top. Sometimes it's nice switching up your card bases with rounded corners or shortening them. Okay, I have the golden grid paper that measures 3 inches by 1 3/4 inches. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the very bottom of the pink polka dot. And I love these 3 colors. You're going to see these 3 colors a lot. I think I used all the scraps when I created my cards, and so I just love the patterns and the colors. I'm going to use my white twine. It was on my desk, and I'm going to tie a bow. The bow is going to be right at the seam of the grid paper and the polka dot paper. To embellish my card, I have the little mailbox. We pop that up with foam adhesive along with one of the letters with the gold hearts. For my sentiment, I'm going to use one of the stamps. The stamp says "Sending Hugs." Put that up in the top there. And then I took the second white envelope with the gold heart, and we're going to tuck it underneath here. Okay, next we're going to take some of those stickers. I don't want to call them foam stickers because they're not foam, but there's some hearts in here. There's layered ones, and I like the hearts that are on the inside of the outline of a heart. And I just put one on top of the mailbox. And then I did add little dots of Journey Glaze over those gold hearts, so there's a little dimension to those, and that's that card. Okay, number 5. I thought we'd do a little something different with the die cut pieces. All the flowers in here we're going to die cut on this panel with white cardstock. I'm going to do as many as I can. Just tape those down, including the flower centers. The flower centers are so cute. There's a little dotted detail, and to me, they remind me of Ritz crackers. But after I die cut out all my white florals, I thought we would do a tone on tone on some strips of white cardstock. So I have a 1-inch strip, and then I have a 2-inch strip, and I'm just filling in the area. After you get it done, it kind of looks like it embossing almost, but I love the effect because of the texture that it gives. But I die cut out both daisies. You can see the flowers that I die cut out in my negative piece, and I kept the negative piece because I wanted to show you guys how pretty that was. That would look pretty on a card too. I'll take my little Ritz crackers and put the flower centers in there. I just can't believe they have that small of dotted detail on there. It really makes a difference on your card projects. Even the itty bitty one has the dotted detail. But once I'm happy with filling it all in, anything that's overhanging on these strips, I'm going to trim down. Now I just did a 1-inch strip and a 2-inch strip. I'm going to cheat a little bit. You could actually do your entire card front if you wanted to, but I want to be covering some of it, and I didn't want to do extra die cutting for the area that I'm going to cover. So we're just going to trim off what's overhanging, and you could use those little pieces as fill-ins if you wanted to. But I adhered it, well, we're going to adhere it to the left and right of our card. Now for my sentiment, I'm going to use one of the 3D stickers. This one has the pink and the yellow flowers and the white, pink, yellow, white flowers, and the sentiment says "Let your light shine." I added that to a 2.5 inch or a 2 by 2 inch white piece of cardstock, and I just used that for my stash. Next we're going to adhere our floral pieces, and again the 1-inch strip will be to the left, the 2-inch strip is to the right. And I do have a little overhanging, so I'm going to trim that off. And then the space in between these two strips, I'm going to use some of that pink wood grain pattern paper. It measures 2 inches wide by 5.5 inches long. So I just taped it down over the center. Next we're going to mat our 3D sentiment on some gold cardstock. So our white square is 2 inches, the gold was 2.25 inches squared. I thought we'd bring in some more of that golden grid paper, so I added a piece of that all the way to the right just for a little something different, and I had some open spaces, and I thought that the grid paper would cover it. And then I'm going to pop up my sentiment, and that finishes that card. Something a little different. Now for card number 6, we are going to use some die cut pieces. I have the gold frame. I'm going to add some glue behind it, and then I just trimmed down some white cardstock from my stash to put behind it. There is a blue flower in the die cut pack with gold center. I'm going to pop that up with foam adhesive, and then that's going to go in my frame. This is a pretty simple card, but I really love the colors. Okay, I have some pattern paper here. This is the one with the daisies. We're going to adhere this on our card base. This measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. leaves me borders on my card base. Next I have a strip, a 1 1/4 inch strip of the blue heart pattern paper. I fishtailed the end, and we're going to add foam adhesive behind the back, and then this is going to go straight down the middle of our card front. After we have this adhered, we're going to go ahead and add our frame. And then for my sentiment, we're going to use one of the die cut pieces. It says, "Oh, hey there." We're just going to add a little glue and put that at the very base of our flower, covering that stem. And then that is card number 6. Now for card number 7, I have a piece of this pattern paper. We're going to trim it, I trimmed it down to 3 inches by 3/4 inches, 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. How about that? This is going to go in the center of our card base. And then I have a piece of the pattern paper that has the little stamps on it. Now the measurement is kind of off on that stamp paper, but basically all I did was trim it down to 3 stamps wide by 5 stamps long. Easiest way I could explain it. I'm going to go ahead and add some fun foam behind it, and then we're going to pop this up and then mat this on some gold cardstock. We'll just go ahead and adhere our green fun foam. And again, fun foam is nice because it gives your paper a little stability. Okay, the gold cardstock that I'm using, I die cut out during my unboxing. I die cut out 2 gold flourishes. We're actually going to use those for a card in a little bit, but I didn't want to waste it. I love this gold cardstock, so I thought we would just create a mat with that on there. You're not going to be able to see it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the center of my card base, and then I have both of the award die cut pieces, but one of them I used my circle dies and die cut out the sentiment part of it. I thought we would do a little layering with it. So we can set the other one aside. You could probably create a custom award, and the sentiment would fit in, one of your sentiments from the stamp set would fit in there, so don't toss that out. But I'm just going to layer with dimension a foam square, the same sentiment on top of the existing one. And then we'll add foam adhesive and place this to the right of our card base. You know, I always go to the right. Maybe we need to switch it up a little bit and go to the left. Let's go to the left today. And to finish this off, we're going to use some of those really pretty sequins that came in the kit this month. I'm going to do a little tucking between the layers with this one. And then we're going to go on the bottom of our little award tag. And then that finishes card number 7. Now card number 8, we're going to use some scrap papers. This is the window pane paper. It measures 2 1/4 inches wide by 5 inches tall. We adhered that to our card base. We're going to use a strip of it's a 1/2 inch strip of the golden grid paper. And then this is the polka dot pattern paper. This is 3/4 inch strip by 3 inches. We're going to add that right above the grid paper. Next up, we have our beautiful 3D floral embellishment. I used all the floral 3D embellishments. I think they were so pretty with all the layers. I added that, and then I have 2 of the leaf die cut pieces. We're going to arrange them on top, adding a little more greenery. And then for my sentiment, we're going to use some of our stickers. I chose the word smile, and I'm tucking it underneath that acetate leaf, but later I end up pulling up my floral a little bit and turning it so you can see the S better. But I'm going to add the mile to the S, and then we're going to dot our little I. Got to grab my tool-in-one for that. And again, I'm loving the hearts that are inside the outline hearts in this set here. So I'm going to grab 2 different sizes and put 2 of them just above our 3D floral sticker. And I think it looks so pretty. Next, we're going to add a few sequins, bring out some of that beautiful color. And then last but not least, I am going to bring in my Journey Glaze, and we're going to dot the center of our pink flower And then I thought, what the heck, while we're at it, I'm going to fill in the sequins. You really can't see the Journey Glaze in the sequins once it dries, but I don't know why I did that. You can skip that step. So that's card number 8. For card number 9, we're going to do a little stamping. I have the stamp in the stamp set, or actually it's not a stamp, it's a letter in the stamp set. I'm going to create a background with this, and I didn't start off too good, so I flipped my paper over and we're going to stamp a row of these letters. It says hello there on there, and the postage mark has a little heart in it. It's very, very cute. I'm going to stamp 7 of them, and then I'm going to continue it again. So we're going to have 7 rows down, 3 rows across, basically creating a background panel. Very easy to do, and it lined up pretty good actually. Next, we're going to use the daisy in the die cut pack. We're going to add that to the center, and then I have the flourishes that I die cut during my unboxing, the gold and then the white, and then I have a few of the die cut florals. I have the leaves and then the green flowers. And then for my sentiment, we're going to use the sentiment that says good times. I'm just doing some tucking around that daisy, and as I look at it, I think I'm just not getting it centered really well. So I think what we're going to do is just take it up and then flip it around. Maybe I had it upside down, that's why it wasn't flowing right. So I think this is going to look out a lot better. We just got to remove the white one and reattach it on the top here. And then we'll add our little yellow flower, put one on the bottom. And I was happier with the placement of this. Then we can add our sentiment. Sentiment we did pop up with foam adhesive also. Once I was happy, we're going to add some of our sequins to the right here, and then also to the bottom just below our sentiment. And then there was no gold detail on these die cut pieces, but I did have the gold flourishes, so I brought in some gold stickles to center the flowers. The yellow one I just went around in a circle, and then the yellow daisies I dotted. So I think that's going to flow a little bit better, but that is card number 9. Okay, card number 10, our final card today. We're going to adhere our pattern paper. This is like a gingham print. It measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. We're going to add that to our card base. Now I went ahead and stamped a row of 6 of those letters again from the stamp set, and I stamped it with Versamark ink, and then I heat embossed with gold embossing powder, and then just cut a strip using my paper trimmer. We're going to adhere that strip to our ledger paper off to the right side here. That ledger paper measures 3 1/8 inch by 4 1/4. This is going to go in the center of our card base. And then I have my last 3D flourish. We're going to adhere that. And then for my sentiment, I stamped one of the sentiments in the stamp set that says there are brighter days ahead. So a nice encouraging card. I'm going to mat that on some scrap pink cardstock. And then I have this leftover piece of the pink polka dot. It measures 2 1/2 inches squared. I'm going to place it in the diamond kind of a shape, and then there's going to be some overhanging. We're going to trim that off. Just something different to throw in there and soften it up a little bit. And I was happy with that. I'm going to add my 3D embellishment. We're going to tuck our sentiment underneath it with some foam tape. And it looks like we need to lower it just a little bit. And I have 1 green leaf left over from my die cutting. I'm going to take that green leaf and add a little adhesive behind it and add that to our flourish. And then we'll embellish our 3D floral here with some more of our crystal mixed gems. And that finishes card number 10, guys. So I hope you enjoyed my project using the Spellbinders. You know what? I love these gems because there's itty bitty ones in here. Not too often you see itty bitty gems, and I like their adhesive back because gluing itty bitty gems is tough. So if they already have adhesive, it's just easy to pick up with your tool in one. But that is my little encouraging card. I'm going to go ahead and collect all 10 cards, and we're going to do a quick recap of all of the cards that I made today with the Sincerely Yours Spellbinders Card Kit of the month for April 2021. If you guys want to see still shots, go ahead and go over to my blog. I take camera shots of each individual card, and then this way you can see them up close. My blog link for this is down below if you want to check it out, along with all the links of the products that I used today. But I always think Spellbinders kits are a great value. And again, if you missed the unboxing, I'll link it at the end here. You can check out how I made that envelope and the florals. But stay tuned for some more card kits. Or actually not card kits, but club kits. I have some more projects to share with you with those. But have a fabulous day, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy April 1st again. And we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.